What is good? What is good? What is good with you? Listen, you need to understand your triggers. You are unprofitable because you don't understand your triggers. That is still the point, the reason why you're still blowing accounts, why you're probably not even in the break even stage, or you're probably almost quitting. So today I want to just go through a couple tips, or I want to put a little couple things into perspective, because if you don't change your focus to your psychology in trading, you're probably never going to become profitable. And you know that. If you don't focus on your psychology, you're going to keep blowing accounts. You're going to look for more concepts. You're going to look for a new shot. You're going to look for a new strategy. You're going to look for a new firm with different rules, right? That's all the cycle that we always go through. It's either the strategy, the firm, the shot, the concepts. This account will be better. This account is the one that I'm going to pass. This one is the one, right? And you know yourself internally, you're extremely angry. You know that. And you're confused as well because you're overwhelmed. There's too many things that you know that is not making you profitable. You're not getting any result from it. So I know you're becoming very frustrated. And obviously, if you keep going, it's because you're very ambitious and you wanna keep going. But the problem is that if you are at least 2 years in or 3 years in, you already been through the stage of beginners, right? So you already been a beginner. You're already ready for the next stage. You need to focus on your psychology. You need to take everything more serious. The problem is that we're still going on YouTube looking for new quick fixes. That's all very, very childish. That's all very newbie like, if you know what I'm saying. But my when I finally changed my approach to everything was when I literally started focusing on literally just one strategy, just one concept on the daily time frame, on the 1 hour, and or my execution time frame. The execution was exactly the same every single day. My 1 hour approach was the exact same every single day, and the way that I analyze the daily and look for narrative is literally the exact same way. That's how I became profitable. But for that, you also need to focus on one mentor, right? You need to focus on one mentor, then learn the strategy, and then you by yourself, combining your psychology with it, you need to create an edge around it, right? But for that, you need to understand your triggers. You know, not you need to understand everything that makes you break your plan in trading. You need to start taking everything, write everything down in a notepad because the strategy works, but you need to understand why it does not work for you. For me, I had a lot of triggers that I had before. As you can see on the screen, this is one that took me out of the break-even stage, right? So as you can see right here, for me to take this trade, specifically right there, I would have needed that liquidity to be taken. And if it doesn't get traded into, I am not trading. But me before would have seen this happen, this leg or wave from the further swings, right? And I would have seek to what, revenge trade it or get mad at the market for living without me, shit like that, right? This would have been a trigger for me to chase. I would have chased something around here or probably around here for sure. Because you go to day trade to trade every day, right? That's unconscious belief that we have. That we go to trade every single day, and we need to take a trade every single day. Uh, the other one, the other trigger for me, if this happened, if me back then would have seen this happen, I would have definitely be comfortable taking a minus C setup just for the satisfaction that I took a trade, or the emotional pain was so bad because the market left without me that I needed the satisfaction. Um, Obviously, here another one. I would have definitely overtraded in that consolidation. Just hoping for another move like this away. So, liquidity here, probably hoping to just look for another leg up. I would have forced something around here just for the sake of it, just because the market traded without me today. Uh, Another one probably would have been, let me see, probably trading it back and down. Sometimes when we see an expansion like this within the market, just because it's moving like on range or consolidation, we think it's gonna fall back down. So I probably would have looked for reasons to do it. But now, obviously, now it's different. Now I understand all this. I know how to behave when this happens. I understand that I should not be messing around with it because I've been following my rules enough to understand what I should do and what I shouldn't be doing. I already seen the reward of not doing anything against my plan. So that is something huge. That sometimes we take a trade outside of our plan, but we get rewarded for it, and that basically reinforces the bad behaviors that we have. But obviously, if you focus more on identifying your triggers, even if you do know the strategy and you back tested the strategy and you know that it works, like it really works, the only thing you need to focus on is your triggers, and that makes you focus on the process of trading, right? Like that, you can understand what you are doing. You don't need to be fearful anymore, like I said, because you will understand what your triggers are before they make you react impulsively, so you can ruin everything. Right? But when you are focused, what makes you when you are trading, when you are trading, and if you do take this approach, just write down real time in the market or whatever, like I did here, with with an arrow pointing to whatever you want to talk about. So let's say this big candle, if that triggered you to follow or to enter just out of hope, take a screenshot with notes explaining why you felt this way, and probably seek to understand why is it that you felt like that in the first place, right? Because our emotions in trading go deeper than just candles on the screen. It signifies something even worse than just I wanted to catch a candle to see 5 more candles point in my direction and give me money, right? But one thing that I used to do as well was that I would turn off my mouse, right? So I will mark up everything that I needed. So I will mark up everything on the daily, my key levels in the 1 hour, and I would just wait for the market to reach my key level, like my on my entry time frame, and I would just wait. And if anything happens, I'm holding a pen and I have a notepad in front of me so I can write everything that I'm feeling, right? Because if it's not in my key level or it hasn't reached my key level, or we don't have like a SMT, I am not touching my mouse because there's nothing that I should be looking for. Instead, I grab my pen and I write down what I'm feeling and why I'm feeling it. Like, what am I seeing on the market? What do I think is gonna happen that is making me feel this way, right? So mark everything down. Just wait for the market to reach your level, and if anything happens, if you feel anything before it happens, just write it down in a notepad so you can understand why you're going against your plan every single time, right? So just focus on this if you want. You don't have to. Just focus on it for 1 month and try to understand all the triggers that you feel in trading. You know, just pick one strategy. Literally, just pick one strategy and pick one mentor. The mentor has to be, I don't know. Just don't. I'm not giving you it. Let me see. Just pick a mentor that is good. Good. Like when you see them on social media, everything is not about cars or like posting just for views sake, and everything that they talk about is like extremely superficial, and it's always messing around with new concepts, or they want to put the strategy in the face of everybody. Look for someone that's like has real knowledge in trading. That's your job to do, not mine. I told you. If I just pick one, and if they have a community shop, just stay there. Literally, just stay there. Just stay there, and you'll see how if you pick a mentor for 1 month, you start writing everything down, all your triggers, basically journaling. Uh, and if you pick one strategy from that mentor only, and you don't seek to look for another extra concept and no more extra bullshit that will just overwhelm you even more, you will get to the break-even stage, or even better, you'll break the break-even stage and start making real money. Because if you don't focus on one edge, it will be extremely difficult for you to sustain consistent results over the long run. But obviously, this is only suggestion. It's not rule. You can do whatever you want, but this is literally what helped me, and I believe it will help you too. So that's why I'm sharing it. Peace out, peace out.